Hi, welcome back to MOAB, Making Music on a Budget. This time we're going to look at a song that will teach us to not give up, to make use of what we have, to create music even though we might be a member of the OF club and look like me. I remember 20 years ago I went to a bar to ask them whether they would let me perform. I made a beeline straight for the event manager and I handed him my tape and he looked at me like this. Later he told me he thought he was getting served because I looked so much like a lawyer. Let's make some music on a budget. This is a rather complex song, so let's start at the beginning. The inception of this song was in a car, like so many unexpected things in our lives. When I was coming out of the ICU with another very strong bout of songfluenza, I was humming a little melody to myself, almost like a nursery rhyme, and I recorded myself, which is never a bad idea, and it's one of the pillars of MOAB. Record yourself. If you have an idea, you might need it later down the line. Let's take a listen. Okay, as we can hear, it's just a very, very simple melody. It goes up and it goes down. When I wrote the song, I used two other tools out of the MOAB toolbox. One being steal, don't copy. In this case, this means that if you hear something cool or you see something cool or something interests you, take it and steal it in a sense that the original owner will never be able to tell that you took it from them. Basically, in this case, if we look at the bridge, I think I just use the so what chords, you know, like how you stack a chord on the piano based on the song So What. We have to remember this was a time when I just had started playing the piano 3 years ago, because I started playing the piano at 45, so I really didn't know what I was doing. One more thing that is part and parcel of the MOAB approach is that if you have a cool idea, like I had for the chorus, you know, to spruce it up a bit, you might have something that you can envision playing, but you can't play it yet. No problem, just keep playing it, just fake it, and just imagine how would somebody who would be cool play this lick, you know, and that's what I'm doing basically, because I really don't have any, you know, skills, or I can't hang on the piano. So I had been practicing this, you know, this Latin kind of groove for quite some time. Sounds a bit like this. In the true MOAB fashion, I went to the rehearsal room. I recorded it on the piano. One thing that is another good tip, if you're recording, and in this case I also recorded it with a stereo microphone, as you may remember. If you're recording is a bit strange tonally, or it's, you know, out of tune or something, one thing you can do to salvage it is to put your piano track into Melodyne. Melodyne is a software. It will look at the chords and it will split up every chord into the different notes that are played, and then you can tune the whole chord and actually the whole piece against the other notes, and it really works. So that's one thing. The second thing is that I recorded drums because I had a certain vision in my head, but it just didn't work. You know, it just didn't work out. So I had to pivot. I mean, let me play you a bit of the drum sound that I was envisioning. You know, it was just too stiff and it didn't work. So I had to pivot, and I thought, okay, what can I do? Let's maybe try to find a gig musician on the internet to do some percussion. So I found this guy. Once again, of course, I had to explain a lot what I heard, but he did a very good job of it. So that's a bit of the percussion. Then I added bass. In this case, it's a fretless bass. You know, it has a very nice sound. Once again, it took, I think, 3 revisions and a very, very long set of notes to explain what I was hearing. Also, because if you have a piano, you're playing the bass on the left hand, right? You know, at that point, I was just going crazy with the power of MOAB, and I just asked the guitar player, you know, the one I had been using before, to play some acoustic guitar on it. You may remember I hadn't recorded anything for 1.5 decades, so I was super happy to find that in, you know, most recording software, even on the iPad, Now there is a final effect called mastering or master assistant or something, and you can switch it on. I think it's AI based, I don't know, and it will really look at the whole song and put some additional effects on it and really bring it up to a level where it sounds much fuller, you know. I mean, let me play a short before and after. Before. And now with this automated mixing assistant switched on. By the way, I had sung, and this was also not in a studio, I think it was somewhere on vacation while the family was out of the house for 2 hours. I just sang the lead track into the stereo microphone because I didn't have anything with me, you know, straight into the iPad. And actually I kept it because I just like the feel, so I'm still using it. So I had this nice mix, but something was missing, and I thought, why not go crazy here and try to do something I've never done before to bring in some horns, you know? So I looked online through many pages of people who, you know, offer horn section services, and I found this one gig musician, actually a lady who is just fantastic. Trumpet, trombone and flugelhorn. So basically a walking, talking horn section. The one challenge I was facing, and I think this is something you will be facing too if you move to instruments you haven't worked with before, is to have a clear vision in your head. What do I want? Do I just want to have this cool new instrument or cool new, well, voice on the piece, or do I have a specific vision? For me, in this case, it really forced me to sit down and think about what do I want. You know, it's all about intent to some degree. Sometimes intent doesn't mean you already know what you want. You just have to say, I will dig as long until I know what I want, and then I can follow that. In this case, I don't know where I was. I think I was in the shower and this horn line came to me, and then I jumped at my mobile and I just sang it in. Let's listen to the idea I had. So if you listen to the final song, you can actually see that these very skilled musicians, and they are all very skilled musicians, took it and ran with it. Also, you will hear that throughout the song, every single part is played differently because I prompted the lady who played the horns to be a bit more minor key in this part, or be more dramatic here, a bit more Latin here, and a bit more Mexican trumpet here, you know. Of course, it's all a bit of a hodgepodge, but that's just what I was hearing, and then bringing it together and mixing it, for me it makes sense, you know. But this channel is not about my music, it's just about showing you how to create your music within certain limitations. That could be gear, time, money, and also skill, as in my case.
Alone in your bed, just over Cape Cod Red, do you see stars passing outside your window? Or do you picture instead monsters that you met? All the things that you've gone through, many battles you have fought, but you don't even know your name. Only blinking lights all around you. They should never count you out. You live to fight another day. Can you feel the songs that surround you? Mona, 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 mon. Mona, mona, mon. Mona, 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 mon. Mona, mona, mon. Glide in this breathless race, searching for a port to come home to, bound in a waking dream that is all too real. There is no other world to wake up to. Many battles you have fought, but you don't even know your name. Only blinking lights all around you. They should never count you out. You live to fight another day. Can you feel the songs that surround you? All have made it through, lost contact with their crew, slipping into that dark place. They became black stars, burning inside our hearts, branded into our memory. Memory. Many battles you have fought, but you don't even know your name. Only blinking lights all around you. They should never count you out. You live to fight another day. Can you feel the songs that surround you? Moon, a moon, a moon, a moon, moon, a moon, a moon, moon, a moon, a moon, a moon, moon, a moon, a moon, moon, a moon, la la la.
So there you have it. Moon a Moon with piano, percussion, fretless bass, guitar, main vocals, background vocals, and horns. I think I'm not missing anything, right? I'm not ashamed to say I love this song. I love the message. I love the story. I love the resolution to the story in real life. And I just love the feel. Coming back to Steal Don't Copy, I have to admit that I stole Van Morrison's Brown Eyed Girl, not so much in terms of melody, but in terms of feel, or how he moves through the second chorus in his version for some parts of my song. You can find all of these in the description, because there will always be a section called Steal Don't Copy, and then you can click on it and you will be taken to the exact place where I stole something for somebody, right? Like an eclectic crow. We are coming to the end of this video, and I do apologize. Let me beseech you again. I really want you to create something. I want you to not say it's too late, or I shouldn't start, or had I done this, or had I done that. Nobody cares. You know, there's a saying in Arab which goes, I can't remember. I'm going to play a clip of a friend of mine saying it.
كلمة يا ريت عمرها ما بتعمر بيت.
The words should have, could have, would have doesn't build any houses, right? So being half Arab, I'm clinging to this phrase. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time on the channel. Don't forget to sub and keep making music on a budget.